Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be making a tomatillo salsa, and I just wanted to show you what the tomatillo plants look like when they're growing. So these are my tomatillo plants, and these are the little tomatillos that are growing on them, and you actually get a lot of tomatillos for each plant. So I picked a bunch today. I see a big one over here. Looks ripe. You can see how they look when they start opening up. And anyway, I've got quite a few tomatillos, but this is what the plant looks like. I actually trained them up a trellis, and so they just take a lot less room, but let me show you how to do this. So I'm going to be canning a tomatillo salsa out of the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. And they actually have a really good recipe that I tried last year. It's on page 212. And this recipe is absolutely delicious. It's called a tomatillo salsa. And I made about 8-9 jars of it last year, and it was so delicious. It makes the best tomatillo. It's like an enchilada casserole, but instead of enchilada sauce, you use this tomatillo salsa. It's the bomb. It's so good. So I'm gonna can the tomatillo salsa for you today, and then another day, when I'm not quite as busy having fun in the pool, I'm gonna make the casserole for you because it is so good. And if you have tomatillos growing in your garden, this will be something that you might really enjoy canning. So these are the tomatillos that I picked this morning. I just picked, this is a gallon-sized bag. I picked several tomatillos that were ripe. And then I've got a few tomatillos that I haven't, they have kind of a husk on them. And I just wanted to show you in case you've never cleaned a tomatillo or what they look like or what they are, that you might enjoy seeing this. So the tomatillos, after you take these husks off, they have kind of a paper husk that they grow in. They're kind of sticky. I don't really know what it is, but they're just kind of sticky. So I just use one glove when I go through them. These have all had the husk taken off, and they've been cleaned. So the outside of these paper husk things, you know, they're not sticky at all, but that's kind of what they look like. That's what the tomatillo looks like when you take it out of the husk. And then all I do after the tomatillo has been, you have all the husk taken off, then I just clean these in clean water. So all I'm gonna do is blend these up together, and then I'll start measuring it out. And this is the consistency I'm looking for. I just put it on the chop mode. You can see there's quite a bit of water in there. So let me measure this out into 5½ cups, and I'll show you what else we're going to put in there. The other thing that it calls for is a cup of chopped onion. Now I'm going to put in a whole onion. I know it's going to be a little bit more than a cup, but that's okay. Like you already know, I love onion. So these are my poblano peppers that I've already skinned and seeded. I am going to take off these little stems. I leave them on in case I make chili rellenos. I better put my little chopper piece on, or it isn't going to work too good. But I'm just going to throw these in here. I've just kind of put them in the defrost a little, just take these little pieces off here, these little stems. But other than that, the whole thing's gonna go in here. And this is gonna equal about a cup. I've got about 4 or 5 poblano peppers. And we're just gonna get those all chopped up in the chopper. Not all of these had a stem on them, but some of them did. If they do, I try to leave them on, but not all of them do. Alrighty. So to our pan, we've got our 5½ cups of chopped and cored husk tomatillos. We've got 1 cup of diced and cored onion, and we've got 1 cup of seeded, I'm using a poblano pepper, but if you choose something hotter like jalapeno or what have you, you go right ahead. So to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of white vinegar. And then we're going to add 4 tablespoons of lime juice. This is freshly squeezed lime juice. Then we're going to put in 4 cloves of garlic. Those I've already ground up and put in here because I had my chopper out. So I've already got my garlic in there. Then I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of finely diced cilantro. Then I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon of red chili flakes in there. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I've also got 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. So there you go. Those are all of our ingredients. So we're going to bring this up to a light boil, just a mild simmer, and we're going to let that cook for about 10 minutes. And as soon as, oh, I wish you could smell this. It's just, I'm going to try to get a better picture for you, but oh my gosh, this smell is, oh boy, I'm so excited that I'm going to be having some of this on my shelves. I can't wait to even make the next batch. I like to get as much of this as possible. You know, I like to can for the whole year for my winter so that I have all these flavors from the summer. And last year I ended up going through this tomatillo salsa to make that amazing enchilada casserole with this, like by the 1st of January. It was so good. So I'm hoping I get a couple batches out of this. That would be amazing. And so I'm going to go ahead and just get my jars heated up. I've got everything ready on the stove. So in 10 minutes, I'll be ready to jar this up. Okay, we've got our hot jars and our hot canning recipe. And we're going to just pour up these pints. Now we're just going to fill them up to just up to about 1 inch headspace. And we're going to put some more in this one. I'm already sad because this just doesn't look like that much, but we'll see. Looks like we'll probably get about 3 out of this, which I was really hoping for 4, but we'll see. Yeah, it's basically going to be about 3 pints of this, so I will probably get some tomatillos. I know I'll get at least 1 more harvest, maybe 2, and make a larger batch. Too much in there. So I've actually got, I actually heated up a 1/2 pint jar, just not sure how much I was gonna have. And so I might have enough to get a little 1/2 pint here. We're gonna do our best. Let me get a pot holder and see what I can scrape out of here. It's gonna be close. I think that'll do it. Well, on a night, I guess, when I have just a little bit of tortillas and just want to have like a 1 meal, I can go ahead and do that. Because when I make this casserole, it really does make enough for a couple of nights. So I think the 1/2 pint will work out fine. Every little drop out of there. I just love this stuff. Some onion. All right, so all I'm gonna do at this point is clean the tops of the lids with well, before I do that, I better make sure I get any air bubbles out. This is easy because it's just kind of like a salsa. And, you know, actually it is a salsa. It's a tomatillo salsa. So you could have this with chips and, you know, something like that if you're having people over. I've just made it into this casserole that I thought up on my own, and I'm not kidding, it is just the bomb. So let me go ahead and put these lids on there. And my bands. One, two, three, and four. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my water bath. These are actually going to can for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to let them kind of cool down a little bit without the fire for about 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out. So I just got my jars out of the water bath canner, so let me show you how they came out. So these are my tomatillo salsa. I don't know if you can see how beautiful these are. They're just beautiful. So they just came out of the canner. They're gonna be so delicious when we make our enchilada casserole. And I'll bring you back, when I do make an enchilada casserole, I'll bring you back so that you can see how it comes out. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.